Welcome back to the comment section. My name is Tamara. This is Iron Mike. This is part 4 for Sunday, May 26th. We are going over the list of witnesses. We are getting ready for court because court is tomorrow, and we want to know what these witnesses are doing for this case. We want to see the relevance up against the charges because that matters. Otherwise, you can't say you're charged for bribery and then bring up a blackmail case. Like, that's not the same thing. You can't be charged for that. So that's what we're doing. We're decoding it all and seeing how much relevance there is and where we're at and what we need to win this case. So the next witness, and you'll have to go watch parts 1, 2, and 3 if you want to catch up to this. And they're worth it, I swear. So the next witness was George Kaplan. He's also a former personal assistant. And he worked for Diddy from September 2014 until December 2015. And his testimony, first of all, granted him immunity. But he said he quit because he was sick of fixing problems, repeated problems for Sean Combs of acts of violence. So again, that testimony goes into domestic violence. And also he was in charge of cleaning up the freak-offs and things of that nature. So you've got domestic violence proof there and more freak-off proof there. The next person would be Kid Cudi. Now that one, easy win. We have arson. But that arson needs to have happened for a second time within 10 years. And that arson happened in 2012. Next one, Mila Morales. That's the makeup artist who experienced witnessing domestic violence. So that's another one for domestic violence, but that's from 2010. But that's good because it's just ongoing. So at this point, they're all overlapping, all the domestic violence people. But remember, there's no direct domestic violence charge, and that is a civil case, not a federal. Next up was Frederick Zamor. He's the La Metrage general manager. There's something weird about this one because the timeline was not available, but when I researched it, online it says that he has worked at La Metrage since 2021. And that must be bad information. Somebody must have written a bad article because the freak-offs were over by 2018 because didn't they break up in 2018? But according to this, he was the manager for the experience of the freak-offs because of the candle wax and all that stuff on the carpets. And he's only worked there since 2021. Anyway, Joshua Croft, who's the special agent, Homeland Security, he's the one that was examining the electronics, and he took 3 laptops, and they all belonged to Cassie. And one of the profiles that they found in those laptops was for a man named Frank Black, which we all know by now is Diddy's pseudonym. Also, I want to put a pin in the fact that he's using his passed-on friend's pseudonym because that was Biggie Smalls' thing. And also want to point out that that is literally because of Christopher Walken's character in King of New York, where he plays a mobster. Anyway, evidently there's going to be a part 5, so I'll see you on part 5 to wrap this up and get ready for court tomorrow.